CBS News polling is giving some insight into how Americans feel about the war and Iran and what it's meant to accomplish. CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto, joins us now. Thank you so much for being here. So what are people saying about the goals and what's been done so far? Do they feel like the reasons have been properly articulated?
Articulated is an interesting way to look at this, because what you see is two-thirds almost say they don't think the administration has a clear plan. We've seen that before. But what is really interesting is if you then say, have they clearly explained the goals? People say, the majority says they haven't. Follow that up and say, well, what is it about that lack of clarity? You get two-thirds who say they think they've been changing the goals. Not that they haven't been articulating them, that they've been changing them. So it was hard for people to keep up. And if I go in and then say, okay, what do you think the goals ought to be? What's important for the U.S. to do? Stop the nuclear program, stop Iran from threatening other countries. These get big bipartisan majorities, but they don't feel like these things have been done yet. That's the biggest difference. And of course, the top answer there, open the Strait of Hormuz, that relates to gas prices, where people are telling us that's a financial burden and it's driving down views of what the president's handling of overall, but also of inflation.
So we've been talking also about the president's feud right now with the Pope, this image that he posted that appears to be, well, it's an AI image, and it sort of depicts him as this Jesus-like figure. He says he was a doctor. But what does polling say about how Catholics view the war? So
I'll pull that up as a crosstab from our current poll, and I'll start with his job approval rating overall among U.S. Catholics, 46%. That's actually a little bit higher than his overall compared to the whole population. But I do want to show you this, because two things. One is approval for the military action in Iran is disapproval, majority disapproval, as it is with the population as a whole. Whenever you're looking at U.S. Catholics and other groups, frankly, you want to break it out by church attendance, religiosity, if this is a proxy in some ways for that. People who go to church more often, and we pollsters use that, again, as a way of looking at religiosity, weekly or more approving of the president than those who go less often or never. And it's a similar dynamic with more approval for the conflict as well. So this is a very important part of the base. He gets relatively higher approval from these Catholics in the U.S. who are in this way more religious.
Do you make anything of that?
We see that dynamic very often, where religiosity is often then a more conservative group, especially among Catholics and other religious groups as well. So what you make of that is this is often a core part of the president's or any Republicans in modern times base.
Anthony Salvanto, thank you as always.
Yes.